Hello everyone. I'm assuming that this recording is happening right after another live commentary. This is a post commentary, and it's just going to be another one of those things of me just talking. First thing you probably notice is that my voice sounds maybe a little bit different. I don't know, maybe higher quality, maybe not so much. I don't know. Thing is that I have a new microphone here, and it's the Yeti by a company called Blue, and it is a very high quality microphone. It's just that I haven't fully worked out the kinks yet. I just recorded my last video with it, the one where I was fighting the Ice Titan, and yeah, and I'm actually very happy with it. I ordered this right before I left, so I ordered it the morning of June 1st, and it was scheduled to arrive on June 11th, and sure enough it did, and I came home on June 12th to see it waiting for me. And it's actually surprising. It's a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. You know, I thought it was going to be maybe half the size in both dimensions, but it's actually, you know, it's got a lot more options than I didn't do a whole bunch of research, guiltily admit. Just didn't do the full-on research. Basically, I was just looking for a better microphone, because the one on my headset before, even though it kind of did the job, I didn't like how it didn't, if I needed to scream or shout or something, it kind of broke the decibel limit of the microphone, even if I reduced the gain of it, you know. And if I reduced the gain, then it wouldn't catch my low points when I was whispering. So this microphone has a greater range overall. It can, you know, sustain louder volumes, it can sustain softer volumes. So that's one good thing about this one. I still do have to cut out background noise, and luckily for me I do have Adobe Audition as my primary audio software. I know other LPers like to use Audacity, and that was the one that was recommended to me by a lot of people and by a lot of internet sources, but I decided to use this on the advice of Farhad, because he had actually used this program for me when I was doing some videos back in high school. I wanted to do some voiceovers, and he said, yeah, we should use this because you can cancel out the fuzzy background noise and it would sound a little more natural. So I have him to thank for that. What else? I'm just trying to fill time here. In the background, you're probably seeing like me doing another synthesis quest, like finishing the final synthesis list on the way to make the ultimate weapon. That's what I've done. Actually, it's really, I would like to say it's late at night, but it's really early in the morning. It's about 4:45 a.m. on June 13th, and I can't sleep. Basically, at about 7 o'clock-ish, I need to be in Riverside, which is an hour's drive away from here if there's no traffic, which there shouldn't be so early in the morning. So I'm planning to head out there and spend a day and a half with Farhad, and then while he studies for finals, because I am a tremendous help to him. Of course, you know, I'm not distracting at all. That's sarcasm, by the way. My computer's telling me I need to update something. What is it saying? No, Java, I don't care. I'll do that later. But yeah, my trip, I went to Saudi Arabia for, well, I didn't go exclusively to Saudi Arabia, I also went to Dubai, but the purpose of the trip was to go to Saudi Arabia to go for religious pilgrimage. I am a Muslim, so that's what I went there for. And it wasn't like a super major pilgrimage, it was kind of like a mini pilgrimage sort of thing, so it was just kind of an exposure to Mecca, Medina, to just know what I should be getting myself into. And I've wanted to go on this trip for a while now, 2 years, but things have always fallen through. Like I never had free time, or like, you know, I would interfere with school or something like that, or had some other commitment that I needed to dedicate myself to. So I'm really glad that I got to go this year. But the trip overall was it was pretty good overall. It's rewarding. It was a unique experience, and it was good to get away from home and get away from the monotony of life, I guess. And it was also good to not have a lot of the benefits that you really appreciate when you do come home. Like, so we started off, went on the plane ride. I went on one of the best airlines to do this. I think we went on Emirates. Emirates is an airline that is based in Dubai, and they basically fly all over the world. and they meet in the central location of Dubai. So if we were going to Saudi Arabia, so we went from here, where I live in West California, or Southern California, West California. Live in Southern California, and so we went straight from here to Dubai, which was a 16-hour flight, and from there we went to Jeddah, which is in Saudi Arabia, a 3-hour flight. So, and Emirates, I think, is one of the best airlines there. I think the only airline which is probably rated higher than Emirates would be Singapore Airlines. And I don't know much about them. I've heard a lot about Emirates though, and they were very nice. Like, you know, the seats were very comfortable. They had an entertainment system like installed at the back of every seat. For those of you who don't fly much or who only fly locally in the U.S., you don't know what you're missing out on for these sorts of flights. You know, there is no comparison at all. You know, you get food, and before you get food, they give you moist towelettes to clean your hands and face with. You know, you get this little pack of travel materials. You know, you get eye shades, blankets, pillows. The headrests, they bend on the side so that it like keeps your head secure if you want to sleep. The reclining is excellent. I mean, it's just overall just amazingness, basically. The flight attendants speak at least like 8 different languages or something. There's like English, Spanish, Arabic, Russian. I remember one of them spoke Icelandic, which was crazy. I mean, like, of all languages to study, you study Icelandic, and you know, I'm pretty sure that some Icelandic person who decides to fly Emirates would be very appreciative of the fact that the flight attendants speak Icelandic, or only one of them do, so you'd have to pick the proper one. But anyways, the flight was supposed to be 16 hours, but actually this was a unique trip for me where a lot of things happen. I fly a lot, actually. Like, I have family all over the U.S., so I fly to Chicago, New York, Florida, Boston, Pennsylvania, Texas, all those places, and I also fly all the way out to Pakistan and Dubai and places like that. And never before has my plane had to make an emergency landing. And yet, indeed, the plane had to make an emergency landing in Vienna, Austria, because a passenger was having like a heart attack or something. I don't know what was going on. There was a medical emergency. So, yeah, emergency landing, and they opened up all those emergency hatches that you see. Like, you can imagine the people sitting in the emergency seats, because people like to request emergency seats because they have a lot more leg room and stuff like that. But, and then like, the emergency actually happens, like, oh crap, should have read the card that told me what I should do if, you know, emergency happens. But no, the flight attendants went around opening all the doors, and I didn't get to see the person who we had to stop for. That delayed the flight, which is a little irritating, but it didn't really matter because we had a layover in Dubai anyways by a few hours. So it, if anything, it just shortened our delay, or it shortened our layover by a little bit. And I got to see, well, the airport of Vienna, which looks like pretty much anything else. It's an airstrip with trees around it. Yeah. But yeah, that was a first right there, and then another first on the way back, actually, from Dubai to back to the U.S. A passenger actually, like, right when we were taxiing, ready for takeoff, a passenger had actually demanded to be let off the plane, so we had to go back into the gate and stuff like that. Everyone was pissed off. It was bad. I mean, I was kind of upset too, because I'm like, who the heck, like, this says I want to get off the plane right now? I mean, I guess I shouldn't judge. I guess people can panic if they, like, you know, their first flight ever and they decide, like, I can't do this and something like that. But come on, it's not like, you know, I've been scared of a few things, like my first time riding a roller coaster, or not a roller coaster, but like a serious roller coaster. What was it? Silver Bullet at Knott's Berry Farm was, I think, my first serious roller coaster, and like, seriously, it was terrifying for me, because, like, you know, it's a roller coaster. You guys are, like, for those of you who are afraid of roller coasters, you understand my fear, and for those of you, like, who just know what roller coasters are, you know what the whole thing is about it. And I was just like, oh my god, it's terrified of it, and I kind of wanted to get off, but, like, I didn't say, like, hey, so you got it, like, I didn't have a panic attack and freak out, and I don't think this passenger had a panic attack either, otherwise I'm pretty sure I would have heard it. even though it was a very large plane. It was a double-decker plane. Insane. Although we were only allowed, economy class was only allowed on the lower decks. Upper decks was for business and first class seating. You can probably hear my chair creaking as I'm adjusting my seating position. So yeah, I can't sleep now. It's almost 5 o'clock and I have to be there at 7, so I might as well just pack up and go, leave at, I don't know, 6-ish. Just get there a little bit early, ring the doorbell, piss Farhad off, and go in and take a nap or something. Which is bad. I should be getting some proper sleep, you know, because there's a lot for me to be doing right now. Like, I have to start working on all those projects I was talking about before, you know, writing, the filming, the everything, you know, and you can't do that when you're just wasting time in the middle of the night watching YouTube videos that you miss. And that's amazing, like, how much stuff do you miss in 11 days, you know. I missed a whole bunch of posts on my blogs and YouTube videos from my subscriptions and that sort of thing. I mean, it made me kind of think about, like, how much time do I actually spend on the internet where like, I'm actually able to log on to YouTube and there haven't been any updates from any of my subscribers, and then I come back after 11 days and there's like 20 or so videos. I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, that was the case, and I was just spending a bunch of time catching up, just sort of relaxing. You know, I got back how long ago? About 12, 13, 14, 16, 19 or so hours ago, 20 hours ago, I guess, is when we landed in, and then immediately we have some guests visiting us right now. Some people I don't really know. I greeted them and I carried their luggage up to their room and stuff like that. We do have an empty room in our house because my sister and my brother have both moved out, so we have that empty room there. But yeah, so we use those for guests, but I'm gonna be out of here for the next day and a half, so that'll be fine by me. Check that out with my parents, and that's all alright. The trip itself, Medina, I really like Medina, actually. You know, the atmosphere is really nice, even though it was kind of the same, you know. Unlike that, like, I went to Medina and Mecca and a few places in between, but stayed mainly in Medina and Mecca. I stayed in Medina for 3 days and Mecca for 4 days. And Mecca, on the other hand, like, where we're staying at this giant clock tower, which was like supposed to be like really high class. It felt like I'm staying in a mall, pretty much. And it was built, these hotels are built on a tower where the 4 lowest levels are a mall. And this mall has retarded deals in the sense that, like, every store was selling the same exact thing, but the prices were retarded. It's like, I can't really explain it, but they were selling things for about 5 times what the price should have been. And how in the world so many of these stores could exist where they were all selling the same thing? There were these rosaries, in Urdu we call them tasbih, but rosaries, and every single store was selling rosaries. Like, that wasn't all they were selling, but they had those rosaries there. They were all selling them. I'm like, are these their business licenses or something? It was flabbergasting. Like, how were these people making a living when they were all selling the same thing? Like, and there's no difference in quality, no difference in price. It's like, and no difference in, like, even various things like color. Oh, you have that shirt. We have that shirt too, in the same color, same make, same name. Like, who thought this up? And, like, all these other places, you know, the best places to go to in any country, you know, US included, are the hidden gems. Places that, you know, they don't have very high prices because they're not very prestigious, not very well known, but they do have very high quality stuff. And I'm talking especially about restaurants and, yeah, especially about restaurants. You know, the best restaurants are these, like, small areas that, you know, aren't huge franchises. You know, everyone talks about, you know, McDonald's. They'll talk about McDonald's. McDonald's, great franchise. You know, they're existing all over the world, but their food, because they have to produce on such a massive scale, is crap. Sorry for anyone who actually likes McDonald's, but it is crap. That is my opinion, and I'm going to stand by that. But, oh man, I don't know what else to say. It's just, Yeah, I didn't like Mecca because like all those other little tiny shops that should be there, they were all demolished. Like half the city was seemed to be falling apart. Like everything was closed down and being like torn down. And I'm used to construction and reconstruction and change of hands of businesses happening on a relatively quick basis. I mean, it's okay if like you have like one abandoned building, and these like buildings are large. These are towers, like skyscrapers that are completely abandoned and falling apart because people are tearing them down. But I'm used to those things happening fairly quickly. You know, you gotta tear this building down, then tear it down, blow it up from the bottom, and just let it fall down, and then take it apart. But like what they do is that they take a chisel and a sledgehammer and they break it off brick by brick. Probably because they reuse the materials or something. But like, I just didn't like how it was at all. Where if you wanted to find a good money exchanger to change your dollars into reals, they were ripping you off at the hotel, like the place where we were staying, because the fair exchange rate is 3.76 per dollar, 3.76 reals per dollar, and they were giving us like 3.4, and that's a friggin' ripoff. If you're putting in a couple $100, you lose like 30 or so, 40 or so dollars. And I was like, what the hell? So we had to go walk down like 8 blocks in the blistering heat. It was so hot in this place. Where, I mean, I live in Southern California. I'm used to pretty hot summers, but I'm also used to the breezes being cold, because the breeze comes from the ocean. But you're in the middle of the Arabian desert, so the breeze, the wind is like a hot gust. It's like being breathed on. Is that a proper grammar? Breathed on? But yeah, like, it just felt really hot. You got sweaty very quickly and things like that. During the trip, I shaved my head as a part of the religious rite. I didn't have to do it. I just kind of said let's do that. It's something you do for the big pilgrimage, but I was doing little pilgrimage, so it would have been okay if I just took a little sliver of hair off the side. But I said, well, let's just shave it all the way. And those sort of decisions that you regret right after doing them? This was one of them. Like, I went to the barbershop and then they shampooed my hair, and then as the razor was going on, making that first pass, doing the sort of reverse mohawk thing on me, that's when I realized, I was looking at the mirror on myself, and then like, I could see the look of shock that slowly formed over my face during that one stroke. Just like, oh, that was a mistake. That was bad. Shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I'll shave myself bald. But my hair is growing back at an astoundingly fast pace. Like, it's pretty long right now. And my dad did the same thing. I was traveling with my dad, and right now my hair is twice as long as his. It's still not long, it's just a few millimeters, but you can tell that like I'm not completely bald. You can see I have hair. And I'm glad too, because my hair is important to me. Yeah, answer everything. But yeah, so Medina was pretty good. Mecca was eh. And then we went to Dubai and stayed with some family there for just a day. And I loved Dubai. It was a great, like, you can't see all of Dubai in one day. Like, it's trying to see all of Vegas in one day. Oh, screen went dark. Come back screen. Okay. Yeah, so it's like trying to see all of Vegas in one day. But yeah, you can't do it, but like they did a really darn good job. I saw, all those large, the major landmarks of Dubai, the Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, the palm, the artificial island in the shape of a palm tree, things like that. And I also got to see this, like, places that they don't take you on, if you take a tour bus or something like that. There's this fish market where people are like literally just coming in on boats, delivering their fish, and just putting it on the ground or in the stalls and just, auctioning it off. And there were some really like good fish there. I actually saw they had caught a great white shark, not like a full size one, but it was pretty long. I'd say it's about, how long is this? 3 feet or something. A 3-foot great white shark. It was mind-boggling seeing that there on a fish stand. I'm like, I actually wanted to buy it and eat it, but no one knew how to cook it, so we just got some sea bass, some prawns, and those were delicious. These fish were fresh, and I actually got the recipe from the person who had made the fish just so I can try and replicate it when I go out to college, because it was just such good fish. And normally, like, I don't like fish because fish is really hard to do properly, in the sense that if you are baking fish, especially baking or frying, it's very easy to dry the fish out. And so this fish was very moist the way it was cooked, and it was very flavorful too. So the problems with fish are that they're either dry or they're either flavorless, you know? Which is why, like, I appreciate sushi so much, because it's so good. Oh, that reminds me. There's a revolving sushi place that opened up just down in the city, just, I don't know, 10-15 minutes away, so I gotta go check that out and, you know, find someone to take with me. Anyways, this is enough of a rant right there. You could probably see that I'm making the Ultima weapon right there. So I've spent some time just examining the Ultima weapon and seeing how it works in combat. Its specs are that it gives you 12 extra damage, or not damage, extra strength, which is 1 more than even the Oblivion, and it gives you +2 magic. There's also a few other things in this gameplay that, you know, I didn't really talk about. You know, and the thing is, like, playing through this game again, I'm learning a lot of things that I didn't know when I was playing through the game as a kid, and I was coming back to these games and playing through them again. Like, at the beginning of the LP, I realized that magic was... I had heavily underrated the magic, how strong the magic could be, and here, again, I was underrating it. I was getting really frustrated. Like, getting all these synthesis items was very difficult. I'm not showing you all of it because it took hours, especially getting the lucid crystals and things like that, because only the dark balls drop them, and it's like a 1% chance. But I found some tricks using Bambi, the summon Bambi, to help out with that. And I was using, for most of the synthesis, I was using the Keyblade Lady Luck, which gives me a +2 magic, and I equipped a lot of accessories that also gave me extra magic power, so that my Thunder spell does a lot of damage. It can kill most of the Heartless in 1 to 2 hits, except for, like, you know, the big ones, the Defenders or things like that. Those take 3 hits, and the ones who are immune to magic, those wizards, goddamn wizards, they're so annoying. But the way that Bambi works is that, you know, how long Bambi stays with you is dependent upon your magic, as well as if Donald and Goofy have the cheer ability equipped. So I did all that. I maxed out my magic as much as I could. I equipped cheer on both Donald and Goofy, and then I summoned Bambi. You can see, like, his time bars are much longer than it was when I first demonstrated Bambi, and he has that sort of charge bar at the top of the little icon that fills up as you destroy Heartless. And if you fill it up 3 times, he drops a rare item that is dependent upon the world that you're in. Like, if you're in Traverse Town, he drops, like, Blaze Shards and Blaze Gems, and if you're in the Deep Jungle, he drops Thunder Shards and Thunder Gems, which is what I needed. I used Bambi to get a Blaze Gem, I think, from Traverse Town. I used him to get Thunder Gems from the Deep Jungle, and I used him to get Lucid Crystals from Hollow Bastion, because I couldn't find enough Dark Balls, you know, because if you want to do the math, you have to kill 100 Dark Balls to get 1 Lucid Crystal on average. So I wasn't willing to go through all that, so I was trying to find a quicker way to do it. And there it was. Just use Bambi, and if you fill up the bar 3 times, then you have a good chance of getting a Lucid Crystal. And then also, like, I have to get Gales and stuff, which I got from the end of the world. You know, it was a very bit, like, knowing where to get the items from is only half the battle. You have to put in the time to, you know, kill the Heartless and have your Lucky Strike equipped and all that stuff. But other than that, I finally got the Ultima weapon. There's still 2 secret bosses for us to take care of. I know I am capable of beating one of them, which I will take care of in the next video. But yeah. Other than that, oh my god, this commentary has been going on for a very long time. I just wanted to extend my thanks again to all of my subscribers, people who watch these videos, people who've liked, and in the future, people who decide to come back and watch this again. You know, this is going to be my first real complete LP. I know I did Plants vs. Zombies before. I didn't really finish it, But this is going to be one, once I complete this, I'll probably post it to the LP archive and try and get more viewers that way, because I definitely want this channel to grow. I feel like, you know, even though I'm doing this kind of for myself, I really enjoy making these videos. It gives a new mentality to playing games. It makes it more fun for me, because I know when things aren't completely going my way when I play a game, I can get kind of frustrated, and it kind of takes the fun factor out of it. But commentating on it and just kind of laughing at my own failure is, and like laughing as I watch myself fail afterwards too, that's, it gives me a new perspective on playing these games as well. And I know if I do this just for getting, like, you know, hundreds of views and becoming famous and stuff like that, it's not the way to do it. And I realize that about other things too, you know. I've always been infatuated with the idea of, like, becoming famous and things like that, so that's kind of why I became interested in acting and filmmaking to begin with. But then I just realized that, like, it's an art. It's something that you have to do for yourself and for no one else. And if you become famous, then all the more power to you. So I definitely want this channel to grow, but I'm not going to do anything stupid like, you know, like spam the link to my YouTube channel on everyone's video, even if it's not related and things like that. I feel like this channel, if it's good enough, it'll grow on its own. And if it's not, then, well, that's okay too, I guess, you know? I mean, I definitely enjoyed playing through this game, and I'm enjoying going through Ico right now, and I'm going to play Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories next, as well, alongside Ico, and I have a whole bunch of games that I want to, like, play. I'm going through a complete retro phase right now, at least until, you know, Bioshock Infinite comes out, and as well as, I don't know what other games do I want, but I have no idea. But I know that Kingdom Hearts 3D is coming out on the 3DS. Is that what's happening? That really pisses me off. But anyways, guys, I've been rambling on for long enough. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a good night.